Good morning, everybody. Glyn, USP Steels, thank you very much. What a pleasure it is to come to the West Midlands and find a successful... Well, OK, fine. Of course, once the workshop of the world, but sadly there are too few success stories like this now in the West Midlands. And I particularly note, of course, steel. Now, Richard Tice and I went to Scunthorpe, where we were told that within 72 hours they would run out of the coking coal and the United Kingdom would no longer be a producer of primary steel. That was in the middle of the week. We caused a hell of a stink over it. As a result of that, Parliament sat on a Saturday for the first time in over 40 years, and we are still just about producing primary steel as a country in Scunthorpe. So I think Richard and I have had a bit of success in this sector. But for somebody who himself worked for over 20 years in the metals industry, which is what I did, I worked on the London Metal Exchange, I dealt in non-ferrous, copper, aluminium, tin, lead, zinc, nickel. I used to come and visit the West Midlands a lot. I used to go visit the Northwest a lot, the Northeast a lot. Nearly every one of the customers that I was trading with 25 years ago is no longer manufacturing in this country. They've gone. They've closed down. They're part of the Industrial Massacre that has been taking place in our country. And it continues. And it continues. I remember in 2015, when the primary steel plant in Redcar, up in the northeast, closed, and a government minister said, well, there's one good thing about this. At least it will reduce our carbon emissions. But what happened? Tata moved all of the production to India, where the steel was produced under lower environmental standards, and then the products were shipped halfway across the world back to the UK market. And that is what we've been doing. We've been deluding ourselves that we're reducing CO2 and saving the planet, when actually what we've been doing is exporting CO2 production, exporting UK manufacturing, exporting well-paid, good jobs. And I genuinely fear that with Mr. Miliband very firmly ensconced in the government, that the fanatical rush to net zero is going to make that even worse. We have the highest industrial energy prices in the world, over 4 times the average price of energy in America. And actually, in parts of Texas, we're probably 6 to 7 times the unit price cost of electricity for manufacturers, for businesses, let alone the increased cost for consumers. So this is a crazy, crazy period that we're living in. One of absolute self-delusion. And I'm, by the way, not going to pin the blame for this entirely on the Labour Party. After all, it was Boris Johnson who said we were going to become the Saudi Arabia of wind. And Mrs. May, remember her, who wrote net zero into law without there even being a proper debate and vote in Parliament.